And that's how I look at it. What makes him get more respect than me? You my next door neighbor, you know, I tell him, you got yours from your family. I got mine from the ground up, from hard work and dedication.
Floyd Mayweather is one of the greatest ever. He's a brilliant defensive fighter. His speed, his boxing savvy. He's just a savant. He's just something special, no question about it. But I gotta look at the Sugar Ray Leonards of the world.
Floyd's way is safe. Not in a potent, but it's like the safe way, like nothing ain't gonna go wrong. But that's how he fight. That's his characteristic.
Floyd Mayweather erupted after Stephen A. Smith publicly downplayed his legacy, arguing that Terence Crawford could defeat him. Smith dismissed Floyd's claim as the greatest fighter ever, insisting Sugar Ray Leonard was far superior. He further argued that Mayweather's best victories came at lightweight and criticized the performances in higher divisions. Smith even minimized Floyd's win over Canelo Alvarez, calling it unimpressive. These remarks triggered an angry response from Mayweather, who refused to let the criticism or comparison with past legends go unanswered.
It's about your skill set. It's who you do it against.
Your level of competition. Is it possible that he's so far beyond his level of competition that he made it look easy?
Well, I think he did as a lightweight. When he went up to the welterweight division, not so much. You know what I'm saying? Now, if
taking out Canelo the way he took out.
Well, he just gave him a boxing lesson, but Canelo was 22 years old. See, I remember
That's an excuse, though.
Well,
I don't like this, like he's 22, he's too young.
I will tell you this. Well, you know, you do have to take that into consideration.
The guy had 100 fights.
Well, let me explain. You have to take that into consideration when boxing is the issue. Now, if he got knocked on his ass, that's different. But when he simply got schooled, when you swinging a punch and Floyd is tapping you on your shoulder saying, I'm behind you, that's a problem. You understand what I'm saying? That's just a skill, like, you know,
we could credit Floyd with that.
Of course, I am crediting. I'm saying he's a brilliant boxer. You know, Floyd knew how to move before you even threw the damn punch. You see what I'm saying? You got to be a veteran and know how to overcome that. You can't put a novice into the ring with Floyd Money Mayweather. You understand? He's going to school you. What I'm saying to you is that if you want to make an argument on Floyd Money Mayweather's half, which I'm not summarily dismissing, I would tell you it's this. Floyd Money Mayweather was undefeated for the last half of his career with one hand. He constantly broke his hand. He constantly broke his hand.
Obey delivered a thoughtful analysis, comparing Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford following Crawford's impressive victory over Canelo Alvarez. While admitting that as a fan, he might lean slightly toward Crawford in a fantasy matchup, Bay emphasized the importance of balance in such debates. He praised Crawford's win over Canelo as an extraordinary accomplishment, but cautioned against labeling it superior to everything Mayweather achieved. Bay reminded fans that Floyd had already dominated Canelo years earlier, at a time when Canelo was still developing as a fighter. He stressed that it would be unfair to dismiss Mayweather's greatness, as both men brought something unique and historic to the sport. For Bay, the truth lies in between. Crawford deserves full credit for dismantling Canelo in dominant fashion, but Mayweather's earlier victory over the same opponent was equally legendary and should never be overlooked.
And Bud goes about it a little bit better than Floyd in this sense. Floyd will when Floyd fought Canelo, he was standing right there. He wasn't running and all of that. He wasn't doing all of the stuff that they say, oh, runner, Mayweather's a runner. He wasn't doing that versus Canelo. He was right there. I can't even really remember Canelo catching him like that, like with nothing. With Bud, I could remember Canelo catching Bud a couple times, but Bud gave him the, all right, put your foot out, what's up? Boxing turn, boxing turn, boxing turn. It was really standing there and giving it to him with another type of energy. The energy is more so all right, what's up? You can't beat me. Floyd energy be bop, bop, I'm better than you. You see what I'm saying? They don't really be respecting that all the time. They'll acknowledge it yo, I ain't gonna lie, he hard to catch. But they be nah, you didn't beat me up. Bud go about his fights in a way where as though the Mexican fan base gotta be I ain't gonna lie, Canelo, he hollered at you. He came at you too. He didn't just be better than you. He was better, and then he was all right, I'm gonna come at you. And I think they really respect that. Shit, I respect it. I don't think it's not, I think the less you get hit, the better. I'm always gonna take it that way. So, you know what I'm saying? As a boxing fan, the kind of boxing fan that I am, I would have leaned towards Floyd's performance, but Bud's performance was like, if I'm a casual fan, I'd rather watch the way Bud do.
Trainer Bussy Ennis passionately defended Terence Crawford's place in boxing, responding to critics who questioned his achievements. He emphasized that Crawford has repeatedly proven himself as one of the greatest fighters of his era, consistently taking on challenges without hesitation. Ennis highlighted that Crawford never shied away from dangerous opponents and, in fact, thrives when the stakes are highest. This willingness to face risk, he argued, separates Crawford from many of his contemporaries. By constantly pushing himself against top competition, Crawford has earned his spot among boxing's elite. Ennis stressed that instead of diminishing his accomplishments, people should recognize that few fighters in history have matched Crawford's unique blend of versatility, daring, and consistent success.
Could have got the stoppage. He'll tell you that. And be able to sit down and open more. But I tell you, Terence can fight and he can box. He can fight. He'll fight this. He take chances, man. You know what I mean? That's how you be great, man. He one of the greatest out there now. I think he's great. I think he's the best out there right now in that division. You know what I mean?
What's left?
For Terence?
Yeah.
If I was Terence, I would retire. That's what I would do. He did everything, man. He done everything, man. You know how many titles he done won? All that stuff. You know what I mean? I think I'll go off on the sunset, man. You know what I mean? You don't need no more money. You know what I mean?
Crawford's longtime trainer, Brian Bomac McIntyre, believes his fighter still has several defining moments ahead. He suggested that Crawford could take on 2 or 3 more major bouts before seriously considering retirement. McIntyre even floated the idea of moving up to 160 pounds, explaining that such a move will be less about collecting belts and more about further cementing a legacy that is already Hall of Fame worthy. He reminded fans that Crawford has already etched his name into history by becoming undisputed in multiple weight classes and scoring groundbreaking victories. Still, the prospect of adding championships in higher divisions excites both the team and supporters. According to Bomac, Crawford no longer fights for validation. He fights to solidify his standing among the all-time greats, pursuing challenges only true legends dare attempt.
The second time. You can't take it away from him either.
Does this one mean more to you than the other ones?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It gives us the opportunity as a team to go into the Hall of Fame. Instead of a fighter going in there, instead of a coach going in there, it gives us a better chance to go in there as a team.
Well, congrats on that. I know that means a lot to you and the
Definitely.
I asked Bud this after the fight 2 weeks ago. Would he consider this a signature win? He said, yeah, one of them. Do you think that was a signature win of his career?
Well, the last fight?
Yeah, the Canelo one.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was the underdog. Everybody thought that, he was going to get beat. He was going to get beat. Surprising.
So what's next for Bud? What do you want to see him do?
I just want to see him, spend time with his family because, training for a fight, he be gone a long time. He gone away from the family. It can take a toll on you after a while. So,
as his trainer, do you feel like he should just sell off into the sunset after this monumental
well,
win?
you know what? They made it look so easy. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit, got 2, 3 more in him and shit. You know what I'm saying? Training camp will try harder. You know what I'm saying?
Timothy Bradley shared heartfelt reflections on Terence Crawford's impact on the sport and the next generation of fighters. He noted that many young boxers struggle with self-doubt, especially when critics question their potential. Crawford, however, became a shining example of what perseverance and determination can achieve. Despite facing skepticism early in his career, he consistently silenced doubters through his performances in the ring. Bradley highlighted how Crawford's rise to becoming a multiple-time undisputed champion across different divisions proved what once seemed impossible. To Bradley, Crawford symbolizes more than just victories. He embodies belief, courage, and resilience. For today's young fighters, Crawford is not only a champion, but also a role model, showing that relentless hard work and unwavering faith can overcome any
man that you have become. You're a true inspiration to the youth, man. Anybody that's troubled, any troubled kid out there, man, they can look at you and say, hey, man, I got a fighting chance to get myself out the situation. All I got to do is make that choice. That's what you did, Crawford. You made that choice, man. You made that choice to change, bro. You know, you saw it going down, man, years ago, man, in 2008, man, when that bullet came through that window, you knew you had to do something or you'll end up 6 feet under, bro. You know, so that courage that you had, man, and that will that you had and that mindset of change, man, and the gym, you know, grooming you and turning you into a man, because that's what boxing does. See, people don't understand, man, that boxing is more than just throwing punches. You know, boxing teaches you discipline. You know, it teaches you love for people, love for others, man. You know, working together. You know, you're there constantly every single day, man. You know, spending time there perfecting a craft, man. Perfecting yourself, understanding yourself, learning more about yourself each and every single day. You push it inside the gym. You know, boxing is more than just throwing punches, man. You know.
Floyd Mayweather's journey went far beyond boxing itself. As Oladipo explained, he carefully crafted two personas, Pretty Boy Floyd and Money Mayweather, each leaving a lasting impact on the sport. In his early years, Pretty Boy Floyd was a fearless risk-taker known for his blistering speed and knockout power. Later, Money Mayweather emerged as a master strategist and ultimate businessman, perfecting defensive boxing while transforming every bout into a global spectacle. His dominance on pay-per-view and unmatched self-promotion elevated him into a phenomenon that transcended boxing. Oladipo credited Floyd's genius both inside and outside the ring, noting that he pioneered a business model modern fighters still strive to replicate. By merging technical brilliance with entertainment and financial innovation, Mayweather became more than just an undefeated champion. He became a cultural icon and the architect of boxing's new economic era.
Sorry. He's a genius. He is a fucking... You know, when I get bored with today's crop of boxers, and Terence, to be fair, has kind of helped me out of my boredom. But sometimes I just go on YouTube and I watch the 24/7s and then I watch the fight. I'm not joking, I watch the whole fucking episodes and then I watch the fight. And my guy is a genius. A genius. There would always be an argument, oh, you should have fought that person then, and I get it. I get it, right? It's kind of the argument you can't throw at Muhammad Ali, right? You could throw that argument at Floyd. But dude, unbeaten is unbeaten. Unbeaten is unbeaten. Multi-weight world champion is multi-weight world champion. You know what I mean? I've never seen a boxer so like, I'm gonna work you out, and then when I work you out, you're done. Shall I repeat that? I'm gonna work you out, and when I work you out, you're done. And Floyd had this thing where first 2 rounds, you think, oh shit, man, this guy's in this fight, and then he works you out. And then he works you out. Floyd, Pretty Boy Floyd was better than Money, but Money Floyd had obviously the fights, right?
Despite Terence Crawford's stunning victory over Canelo Alvarez, debate continues to swirl about his future. Some insiders, including members of his own camp, suggest that he should consider retirement now in order to protect his legacy. They argue that Crawford has already cemented his greatness and has nothing left to prove. On the other hand, critics downplay his win and claim he should step aside before his reputation declines. This divide has created tension, as many fans believe Crawford still has plenty to offer. His recent performances show no signs of slowing down, and supporters want to see him take on more marquee fights. Whether he chooses to fight on or walk away, Crawford's legacy as one of boxing's all-time greats is already secure and untouchable.
Did what he did against Canelo Alvarez. Terence Crawford made himself the face of boxing, and he did it. He made it look easy. He made the Errol Spence fight look easy. That was supposed to be the toughest test of his career. I thought it was. The whole world thought it was. It was the easiest fight he had at welterweight. I thought, but I've been saying for years that he's gonna easily beat Canelo Alvarez, and he did. But many people expected Canelo to knock him out. That wasn't the case. With that said, now people are trying to throw. He's 38. Tomorrow, Terence Crawford will be 38 years old. He's a 5-division champion. If he wants to stick around like Terence Crawford stated, okay, Terence Crawford stated, if I do stick around, I'm not dropping down no further than 160 pounds. If he stays in boxing, I say he have 2 more fights. Fight Janibek, who's the unified champion. Hopefully Carlos Adames and Lara fight and unify the belts. 2 fights at 160, pad the stats, become a 6 division champion and a 4 division undisputed champion. Cool. Other than that, Terence Crawford needs to retire.
Trainer Robert Garcia shared a perspective on the Mayweather versus Crawford debate, offering a balanced but firm view. He reminded fans that while Floyd Mayweather's undefeated record and overall success remain unmatched, he never became an undisputed champion, a feat both Terence Crawford and Manny Pacquiao achieved. Garcia acknowledged the historical weight of Crawford's resume, particularly his multiple undisputed titles. However, when comparing the two directly, Garcia still leaned toward Mayweather. He explained that Floyd's defense, timing, and ring intelligence would present enormous challenges even for a fighter as skilled as Crawford. For Garcia, Mayweather's unmatched ability to neutralize opponents set him apart, making him a nightmare matchup. While respecting Crawford's greatness, Garcia believes Floyd's fundamentals and strategy elevate him above nearly all champions.